Today in my kitchen I'm gonna can ugly chicken. You ask, what is ugly chicken? It's just chicken that looks ugly in a jar. It is basically pressure cooked chicken, and I got a really good deal for this huge bag of chicken for $6.79. It was about 6 pounds, a little over, of chicken. So these are the thighs. And I have to remove the bone. So I'm keeping the bone in some of the skin. I'm adding some of the skin to my jars to give it a broth. And that's how you do it. I'm going to keep the bones for bone broth. So anyways, I got my jars over here. I'm going to take the jar and I'm going to fill it with the chicken all the way to the brim. And I'm going to push it down. You want to make sure each one's got some of that fat because it will make your broth. And also you can use that broth in a recipe. So I just want to keep adding this to my jars. This is just a pint jar. Actually, I want to make sure if it is. Yeah, half pint jar. So that's what I have. I'm going to get my big jars, but I can't get that other piece in there. Oh, actually I can. So anyways, there's my first jar. So I'm going to keep doing this. I'm taking this off the bone, getting it in the jars, and then I'll bring you back when I'm going to the next step. Okay, we have a pile of bones and fat, which I'm going to put in a pot, and I'm going to make my bone broth. I will link the bone broth video in the iCards, and then I have 3 pieces of chicken, which I'm going to make for supper. So I have 1 pint and 5 half pints. We want to take some apple cider vinegar. You can use the stuff in the store or your homemade. It's just fine. Make sure you clean all your tops completely clean. So make sure you get the top of them so there's no residue or anything on there. And then you want to put your seal on there. You're just going to go just like so. And finger tight. Just like so. And then we're going to put them down in the canner. I'm going to put them down in the canner. And then I'm going to put the top on the canner. I don't have no extra cans going in. And then I'm going to turn this on. And I'll bring you back when I'm ready to do that. Okay, we're back. So you can tell that I've got this on top, and I've got a couple inches of water covering. You want your jars completely covered. And I also wanted to mention that when you put your chicken in the jar, make sure it's a ½ inch from the top. So right to the line, like right here, would be great, because that gives you a ½ inch headspace. And then of course use the vinegar. Then after you get your water covered over your jars, make sure it's completely covered over your jars. I'm going to put my pressure cooker on. And seal it. Get it right on that burner, and we are going to wait until it streams. You want a steady stream coming out of there. I've got it on high, and as soon as it starts to steam, we are going to put the weight on and we're going to process it. And every time is different. Mine is going to be 10 pounds of pressure for 90 minutes, and I'll bring you back. You can see I've got the chicken bones from my canned chicken, my ugly chicken, and I got the skin. This is the remainder of what was left of them thighs. I've got 3 carrots in here, 1 onion that's sliced in half, and dehydrated celery. I'm going to cover this to fill this with water, and I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to keep cooking this until these bones are cooked down, and this makes a nice pot of chicken stock or bone broth. So I'm just going to keep on filling it. And now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, and I'm using the Himalayan salt. So I know how to measure a teaspoon by just pouring some in, and there we go. I'm also going to add a little dash of pepper. And I'm going to cover this. And I'm going to let this cook. And it's going to cook on low heat. I'm going to start it out on high. And then I'm going to cook it on low. And let it simmer until the bones separate and give out the marrow. And you can keep the vegetables if you'd want. Or you can just disregard them. You just drain this off and take the fat off. And you can jar this up. Or you can put it in your fridge, whatever you'd like to do. So anyways, this is how you make bone broth. You can't see that, but this is steaming. When I go across it, you can feel it. And you can see it in the air. So I'm going to set my timer for exactly 10 minutes. Now I think you can see it. We'll keep the grate on there. So we have to steam for 10 minutes. And I was wrong on the weight. For our area, it's 15 pounds of pressure. So 15 pounds of pressure for about 75 minutes. And I'll bring you back. I just thought I'd show you the bone broth that I'm cooking. Nice, delicious vegetable with bones. Bone broth. You're going to get all that nutrients from the onions and the carrot and the broth. That's going to be cooking all day. I might have to keep adding to the pot some water, but it's going to cook and cook and cook until them bones cook down and you get the marrow from it. So you can really hear that this is really steaming right now. You can hear it. I think you can see the air coming from it too. So anyways, I'll bring you back when that 10 minutes of venting the steam is done, and then we will set the weight on. Okay, our timer just went off. Now we're putting our 15-pound pressure on our steamer, on our vent. So anyways, we're going to let this go for about 90 minutes, and I'll bring you back. Okay, this has been going for 90 minutes. We're going to shut it off. When it stops whispering, like blowing steam, I'm going to remove that. Right now it's too hot to touch, and I'm just going to let it come to temp, and then I'm going to remove that and let it vent. And then we'll check our chicken. And I just want to show you the update on the bone broth or chicken stock. Just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you have an amazing day.